Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is the latest transfer news live. All the questions that you have, get them down in the comment section and the chat. We will be talking about Calafiori. Most of the time, that's the deal that is edging closer to be done. The players already agreed to join Arsenal. It's now about Arsenal and Bologna finalizing the deal, and this will be our first official signing. It is our second signing after David Raya, but this will be our first official signing for a player who hasn't played for Arsenal before. So let's get straight into the news, and this is what Mazio's had to say. As Ricardo Calafiori is heading to Arsenal, transfer fee 50 million euros. Now, in terms of Italian news, Di Marzio is probably the best with Fabrizio in terms of Italian news. And he said Ricardo Calafiori is heading to Arsenal for 50 million euros. Now, I've already seen Chelsea outlets saying it's over. The Chelsea fans with inside information, they already said it's over. He's not going to join Chelsea. He's already chosen Arsenal. And I wasn't really worried about Chelsea, as I've told you guys the last couple of days. The time they got Mudryk, we were fighting for the title at that time, but you were only 6 months into fighting for the title, and we weren't even in the Champions League at that time. These days, Arsenal is a very, very different team to what we were that day. Now, we've seen that 2 years, the next season, we fought for the title again up until the final day, and also on top of that, we obviously qualified for the Champions League. This is the second season in a row, so I didn't really have a problem with Arsenal and Chelsea competing for Calafiori. I thought you were going to get in. The only worry was Chelsea's new manager is Italian, and that's pretty much it. Now, for Juventus, they say they're not going to sell into Juventus, and Fabrizio confirmed that the Juventus deal is off, so that is great for us. That could have been the only other worry. And maybe Leverkusen, but he decided to join the Premier League, and we've beaten some really good teams. PSG wanted him, Leverkusen wanted him, Juventus wanted him. There was talk about AC Milan, Chelsea wanted him. So getting this player ahead of all of those teams, it's really, really good. It shows that we are definitely moving in the right direction. So Di Marzio has basically confirmed that he is going to be. We're going to agree a 50 million euro, not euro. That is euro, and then in pounds it's 42 million pounds. Now, for Calafiori, I'm okay with the Calafiori signing, as long as it's not like 80, 90 million or something crazy like that. I did say my defenders is not really our priority, but if you can get defenders who are going to take you to the next level, well and good. The truth is, our right back position, Ben White has been able to make it his the last 2 seasons. Saliba has made the right centre back position his for the last 2 seasons. Gabriel has made the left centre back position his for 4 seasons in a row now, but we've not really had anyone making that position their own on the left side. That is the truth. Tierney played there for a couple of seasons, and Atsa came, different style, changed. And Tierney also picked up a lot of injuries. Zinchenko came in fast and looked like it was going to be his position, but after that, obviously performances dropped, and we realized maybe he's not the best of defenders, and obviously the injuries as well. He didn't really make that position his own. Tomias with the injuries, he's not really even a regular left back, didn't make that position his own. Timber only played 1 game in the season, didn't really make that position his own. So we don't really have a left back like we had when we had Ashley Cole and Clichy playing in that position for 7-8 years. We haven't really had anyone putting that position down as their own. So Calafiori has the opportunity to come to Arsenal and make that position his own. So I think he would be a good signing. He will fit into our style, the passing style, the keeping possession, suffocating the opponents, not letting the opponents have the ball, left foot on that side, driving runs. He can invert, he can overlap. I think he will settle in at Arsenal very, very well. So 50 million euros, I think that is great, and you're expecting this deal to be here we go very, very soon. Now, the other question people have been asking is how much is going to be paid per week. Now, he's being paid 16,000. Yes, 16,000 only at Bologna. So he'll have to have a massive upgrade on that. Now, Cozy asked me when you did a live show 2 days ago, he asked me how much should we offer Calafiori from 16,000, the one from Bologna, how much should we give him? And I said, I think around 50 to 60 would be great. And he was like, the reaction from everyone was like, what? No, that one is too little. He'll say no, like other teams will come in at the 100,000. And I was like, no, you can't just start with, okay, we're going to give you 100,000 right away. What if the agent says, okay, you know what? They can pay us 100,000. Let's say we are asking for 150,000 now. The same with West Ham last season with Declan Rice. We couldn't have gone to West Ham straight away and said, okay, we actually have 105 million. Here's the money. They would say, you know what? You look like you have the money, so we're going to ask for 160. You have to start from a low point and then advance. So that is why deals take time. And if, as I've always said, if Chelsea come in and give him 300,000 a week, you let them have him. because you don't feel like you should pay that kind of money to a defender. You can use that money to pay for a striker, for example. So 16,000, I did say 50 to 60,000 would be enough, and everyone's reaction was like, that is too little. Now, this is the talk in terms of the wages that he's going to get paid. This is according to Nico Shearer. Very So the journalists that I put on screen are the ones that people usually follow a lot. So I just don't put random people. And Nico Shearer is one of those people. And he said Arsenal have reached an agreement in principle with Ricardo Calafiori for a contract until 2029. That is 3.5 million a year. So 3.5 million a year euros, that totals to 2.9 million a year in pounds. And if you divide that per week, that makes it 57,000 per week. So we are going to be paying him 57,000 a week in pounds. That is really good. He's being paid 16,000 over in Italy, and you're taking it to 57,000. I think that is great. Now, you start from a low point. I don't think you can just sign a player like Calafiori and give him 150,000. You can only do that with players like Osimhen, who've already proved themselves for several years in different clubs. But for someone like, if you sign someone like players from Girona, for example, or players from Bologna, players from Leverkusen, players who've done well the past season, you can't just bring them in and then you give them that 300,000. Like you bring Frimpong for Leverkusen and then you give him 300,000 right away. No, 57,000 would be a very, very good deal per week. Now, if he comes to us and becomes a regular next season and he does the job for us and you feel like, you know what, this guy is really good. He's played at center back, he's played at left back, he's adapted very quickly to the English game, and you feel like, at 22 years of age, teams are going to come in for him. Then after that, we can improve the deal. We can give him a new contract and tell him, listen, we reward you. We're going to give you 105,000 per week, and that is deserved. I don't think we've really been giving players too much wages, apart from Havertz in terms of a new signing. Usually we kind of reward players after good performances, like even though it's players that we feel like they didn't maybe deserve it or whatever. Like Nelson had a decent end to a season, and then we gave him a new contract. Nketiah had a decent end to a season. He gave him a new contract. Players like Saliba, Gabriel, when you feel like, you know what, yeah, they've done a great job for us, got new deals. I think Odegaard, when he gets his new deal, is going to be very high. The moment you're going to add Saliba, give him another deal again, it's going to be higher. You keep on rewarding performances. So really, really happy with that. 57,000 spending plus 42 million pounds. I think that's a great package, because this market these days, you can spend 100 million on a player and they're asking for 300,000 per weekend. It can make you bankrupt. So for that kind of money, that would be a great offer. 57,000 a week. That would be a very, very good offer. And for a fast signing, I don't mind it at all. We are going to make our defense even stronger. Now, people have said that he's obsessed with defenders. That could be true. We've signed a lot of defenders under Arteta. Ben White, Gabriel. We've brought back Saliba. We signed Zinchenko. We signed Timber. But as long as it's working. Now, if you are signing all of those players and we are still conceding 50 goals per season, then there will be a problem. But it's still working. And you were able to keep, Raya was able to keep 20 clean sheets by himself last season. If you improve the defense even further, you can take that to 26, 27 clean sheets. And we basically don't even concede shots against teams. If you add someone like a Calafiori there, someone who's comfortable on the ball and all that, then you're in very, very good business. And it's great. As long as they keep on improving the team, it's fine. And it's not like we're signing someone for 60 million in the Saliba position. We're signing someone for 50 million euros on the left side, where we don't really have players who've made that position their own. Zinchenko might still leave, Kivia might still end up leaving, Tierney will definitely leave, Tavares will definitely leave. So let's see what happens. And it looks like Jorginho's done some incredible work in terms of convincing him. Thank you, Jorginho. That was very, very quick, because Italy were eliminated just the other day, and looks like Jorginho's done his part in terms of convincing the player to join Arsenal, and that is that's really good. I'm really happy with this signing. That shows that yes, you're definitely going to do deals in July. June was a weird one, and maybe it's in terms of PSI and Euros and Copa America. The moment you've got into July, we've already announced, I've just done a Raya video. It's going to come up next after this. Ryan Calafiori already announced the signing, and then second signing already looking like it's going to be through the door very quickly. I would say I'm expecting 3 signings this July. Now, if you add Raya, I'm going to make it 4 signings this July. I think you're going to get done deals very, very quickly, and I'm very, very happy with that. We usually get deals done before preseason. I'm usually never worried about that. Even if we got to July 15th without making a signing, I know at Senedu prefer getting signings done before the season, before the preseason. So I'm sure they would get deals announced, even if they announce it on July 19th and two in July on July 20th. As long as we get the players before preseason, it doesn't matter. The thing about Arsenal not signing players quickly and being slow over the last couple of years, that is not true, because Arsenal is a team that has made deals very, very quickly. We do deals quicker than Liverpool these days, quicker than Chelsea. When if you count Chelsea as a team that is signing players, they're signing players from Brazil for 16 years of age and players from Leicester and players from Leeds. We don't really count that. So, but to make deals like this, tougher deals to get done, someone who's done really well for Italy, I think it's worth it. Now, I think I've brought up these stats before, but in case you haven't seen them before, his numbers are really good. This was the Euros, the 3 games he played in the group stage for Italy, and it was not against easy teams, by the way. It was against Spain, against Croatia, and against Albania, who actually gave them a really hard game then as well. It wasn't an easy game for Italy at all. Albania actually took the lead, so it was pretty difficult. So if you look at his stats, then he had one assist, crucial assist in the final game of the group that put them through. 4 chances created, 92% passing accuracy, 7 duels won, 77% aerial duels won, 6 interceptions. And this was last season at Bologna. Overall, all the games that he played, he created 14 chances, 5 assists, and this is from a defender. 89% passing accuracy, aerial duel success 71%, 60 aerial duels won, 50 interceptions. Those are really good numbers. Like, you see those stats for aerial duels and passing accuracy. I think Ateta is melting seeing those stats. Like, he's like, this is my guy. This is definitely my guy. Like, someone who can win duels. Ateta is like, this is voguing incredible. Like is absolutely amazed by that, I'm sure. So getting a player like this, incredible. And the truth is, he's going to reject Chelsea. He probably has already rejected Chelsea, and I'm already starting to seeing comments from Chelsea fans saying, we didn't really need him anyway. Whatever, we didn't really need him, all that. But yeah, they probably wanted him, and you're the team that is going to get him. Now, the podcast from today morning, I did say there's only one concern about Calafiori that I've not seen many people talking about it. He's 22 years of age, and I think he's had like 10 injuries already. And there's I don't remember the exact days that he's missed, but he's had like a lot of different injuries. He actually got a very serious injury when he was 16 years of age, and he missed like a year of football or something. And then he's picked up a couple of hamstring injuries, which is always not great, and a couple of unknown injuries. Like, when you check his injury record, he's picked up injuries 6 times that is written unknown injury. So that is a concern. So basically, he was out for like 3-4 games without really knowing what the issue was, and then he comes back, he doesn't feel the pain anymore. So that is the only concern about it. Now, some players could be like that forever, like if they're starting to pick up injuries when they're younger, but some players could maybe can recover from it like permanently. So I don't think Edu and Ata will sit down and look at this player and ignore those injuries. I'm sure they've seen it. But at least what I can say is the last one season, he didn't pick up an injury at all. He was fit for the whole season for Bologna, so that is good. He only got a knock, I think, or something. That was it. Didn't pick up any muscle injuries or anything like that. So let's hope that when it comes to Arsenal, maybe it could help if he's not playing every single game and all that. Maybe it can definitely help him in terms of playing for Arsenal. If he doesn't play every single game, he doesn't pick up too many injuries. Let's hope so. But that is the only concern about him. But I'm sure he will be okay. I'm sure he will be okay. Still a very good signing. Still a signing that many teams would have wanted. The teams that wanted him, PSG, Leverkusen, Chelsea, Juventus, those are top teams that want him. I mean, it's not like sometimes you want to play and then you hear, it's not disrespecting these teams. You hear them like Luton one team and Getafe one team, and Salernitana from Italy one team, teams like that, and you're like, is it really a good signing? But these days we are competing for players. Havertz was wanted by Bayern Munich, Raya was wanted by Bayern Munich, Rice was wanted by Man City. So the teams you're competing with these days, it's really good. This was from yesterday, from Mail Sport, saying Arsenal now attempting to push through a deal for Ricardo Calafiori before their preseason tour. I think we'll get it done before the preseason tour. He's probably on holiday now because he just finished the campaign with Italy, the Euros. So the medical will be the only thing remaining. And I think he'll probably pass that. 95% of players pass that. So absolutely no worries with that. Let me take a few of your comments. See. Mukosa says hello. Let me put that on the bigger screen. Mukosa said, hello, how are you? Doing after Ricardo? Should we expect a striker or midfielder? Yes, I think I'm expecting at least 3 signings. And it could be more. It could actually be more. Depending on who leaves. The reason why we can't let everyone go is because we can't sign 7 or 8 players. So from those players that are linked with moves away, Nelson, Nketiah, Smith Rowe, Partey, Jesus, Zinchenko, Kivio, you can only probably sell 3 of them. You cannot go and sell 6 of them because you need some players on the bench. Vieira, you can include Vieira in that list as well. Arsenal, it's a mean business this time around. Kudos to the team as a whole. I think they've meant business the last 3 seasons, to be honest. We just need to keep on improving the team. Remember, I'm still going to say this. We did not lose the league last season because Arsenal is a bad team. We lost the league because Man City is just more experience and they can pick up 95 points and win the league. But we have to go and do it next season again. We have to keep on improving the team. We can go next season and we can have 95 points and then Man City have 96. You can't just say, oh, my goodness, you're never going to win the league. You have to go again and buy another defender, buy another winger. You have to keep on trying. Kevin says, hello, Glenn, watching from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you. Good news, says Columba. Let's get it done and get a striker, says Mugabe, and rush for a striker. Let's see. Good to hear this, my fellow brothers, says Johnson. Lonic here says, where do you see Timber in that squad with the presence of Ben White and Calafiori? Yes, he'll play some games going into midfield, but he'll still be a defender because I've seen people saying that, okay, Calafiori is coming to Arsenal. Oh my goodness, Saliba is going to go to Real Madrid. Why? That the squad depth. I've seen Man City want a defender for 50 million right now. They already have a Kanji, Gvardiol, Diaz, Stones, Walker, Ake. They already have defenders. Doesn't necessarily mean because you're signing a defender, another one has to change positions. No, you can have 7 defenders and they can be rotating. So Timber, I can still see him playing on the wing back position, so left back, right back, but mostly maybe helping out Ben White on the right side and maybe sometimes covering for Saliba at centre back. But I don't think he's going to be moved position because Calafiori has come in. I'm hoping for a bit of rotation. We need squad depth. So just because Calafiori is coming in doesn't mean Saliba is going to go to Real Madrid. They'll have to pay 300 million. I'm not even kidding you. Like Saliba, the guy who can bully Haaland and Lukaku, you're going to have to give us 300 million plus add-ons as well. And that is not in installments, like cash straight up. Gabriel does not necessarily mean Gabriel is going to Saudi Arabia because you're signing Calafiori. No, he can stay. He's our fast choice. Calafiori can take the left back position and we can rotate the players with Timber and Tomiyasu. And if Kivio and Zinchenko are still here, we can rotate the team. Let's get it done fast. Goodness, says Mubaya. But to answer your question in detail, Loneke, I can see him left back, right back, and then when the tactics is like going into midfield and playing with the back 3, Timber is the one who's going to be going into midfield. Cozy, nice seeing you as always, my brother. Really no striker again, says Austin. No, like we're 2 weeks into the transfer window. Doesn't mean if you're signing a defender, you're not going to sign a striker. I'm pretty sure you're going to sign a striker. Now, signing a defender, I think it could mean that we sign a cheaper like winger, for example. I think you're still going to get a striker for sure. And the fact that you're signing this type of defenders in Calafiori and Timber, I think you're going to end up playing a back 3 when you have the ball, and that allows you to have a front 2. So even if Havertz has to play, there's still a space for a different striker there. So not really worried. We are going to get players. Good work you're doing, bro, says Chanzara. Thank you. I also want to achieve something big in the near future, says Benjamin. I really don't want this team to dismantle this team before they win something. I know we can win a league with Gabriel. I know we can win a league with Odegaard, with all of these players. I want them to be here when we win the league. I feel like they've done so much for this club already. Let's finalize it. Then we start working on Gyökeres deal as we wait for the US to end to approach Kimmich and Nico. Then we shall be good to go, says Kevin. One of them is going to go out tomorrow. Kimmich and Nico. Let's see how that is going to develop. Calafiori is a reasonable buy at the moment, for sure. He's 100% a reasonable buy for 50 million euros. Very, very much so as well. I think this guy is a quality addition to the team who can be played on left-sided centre back, offering cover the centre for Big Gabby. Exactly, you can use all of those players in different positions, and you can confuse opponents. They wouldn't know who's going to start. Will Timber start at right back? Will he start at left back? Will Kivio, if he's there? If Kivio is there, will he start at centre back, left back? Depending on how the game is going, if you're drawing 0-0 or leading 1-0, let's say you're drawing 0-0, you still need a goal. Then you can bring in a more attacking defender. If you're leading 2-0 and just need to shut it out, you can bring in a Kivio or throw in a Tomiyasu. Everyone has their job there. Let's say all of those 8 defenders are still at Arsenal next season. there's different games with different players. If you know it's a game where you're going to dominate possession and you're not going to be doing too much of defending, you throw in Zinchenko. If it's a game where you need to do man marking against a Sane or someone like that, you bring in Tomiyasu to do that job. If you need to play a back five for the last 30 minutes, you throw in Kiwi and you can have him do that job. If you and we have, you listen to those names. I saw a post on X yesterday and it said 4 years ago, not long time ago, 2020, 2019, 2020, our back seven was like Maitland Niles, Bellerin, Kolasinac. Oh God, Kolasinac, man. Not Scolaci. Scolaci is always in my mind. Like that guy has affected the whole 20 plus years of my life. There was, yeah, you know, I'm glad I'm starting to forget their names because it's great. Mustafi, Socrates, that was our back seven. Like we would have been here talking about, okay, who should start next season? Mustafi, should he play Kolasinac at centre back? Now we are talking about, oh, will Timber really play? Oh, could Saliba end up on the bench? Is Timber really good enough to play ahead of Calafiori? Like, is Gabriel going to be on the bench? Like, these are quality defenders, man. These are defenders who pace. You cannot beat pace in terms of Gabi and Saliba. You cannot put the ball behind them and, you know, you have pace to beat them. No. Energy, strength, they will bully you, both of them. Attacking set pieces, corners, and free kicks, Gabriel will bully the hell out of you. When it comes to, you know, carrying the ball and all that, Saliba can do it comfortably. Man Mark, Haaland, and Lukaku, they can do it comfortably. You know, the relationship between the two, they do it comfortably as well. Just a lot of positives, man. Timber is likely to play as a defensive midfielder. It depends. Let's see. If we don't sign a defensive midfielder, you could see him in that position a lot of times. You could see a Timber Rice midfield when you have the ball, but when you're playing against, okay, some games like against Man City, if people thought that 0-0 against Man City was boring, next season when you play Man City and Liverpool in those teams, like Guardiola will have 5 defenders on the pitch, and Arsenal will have 5 or 6 defenders on the pitch. You'll basically have a back four plus Timber and Tomiyasu or something like that, 6 defenders, and it's going to bore you to death. But tactical wise, as long as you don't lose to them and you find a way to beat them, absolutely fine. Because Guardiola will also play like 4 or 5 defenders against us. Mopinata will not get a striker. We had 93 goals last season in our weakest position at left back, as well as Saka competition. Now, I want a striker for sure at Arsenal. But to answer your question, I don't think Arsenal are desperate. That is the word I use. I don't think if Arsenal, like even if Arsenal didn't sign anyone at all, I don't think we're going to finish 6th or 7th. We are still going to finish 2nd. We still have Odegaard in the team. Saka still in the team. I still believe we have a better team than Man United, than Chelsea, than Aston Villa, than all of those teams. But the few positions you can improve are striker, getting a backup for Saka, midfield maybe, and maybe the left back. So the positions that we can improve, let's keep on improving. You get a striker, you get a left back, you get a midfielder. If you finish on 94 points next season and it doesn't work out, you go again, you add another striker, you add another winger, you add another center back. You have to keep on improving the team. I think we will get a striker though. Calafiori is a top wide channel defender, an excellent ball carrier, and reads the game well defensively with great anticipation, says Kiprotich, for sure. Calafiori will be a good signing for us, says Anthony. Nice one. This is good news to the ears. On to the next one, says Christwell. Hi, Glenn. Thanks for the effort. According to you, between Arsenal and Man City, who do you think offers a suitable project to Kimmich to choose? Ooh. Project-wise, I think Man City and the only teams I'm usually looking at like can get players ahead of us is Man City and Real Madrid. These days, every other team I'm like, yeah, Arsenal against Bayern, we can get a player. Arsenal against Chelsea, we can get that player. Arsenal against Barcelona, we can get that player. It's only Madrid because of obvious reasons. They basically guarantee you a Champions League title, a trophy, and Man City, yeah, Guardiola is a very big factor. Like if Guardiola tells you to go and play for him, a lot of players will say yes. So the only reason I'd say Kimmich to Arsenal is because Man City already have Rodri. So you're not going to play. If you go to Man City, unless Rodri is leaving, that position is not your own. Kimmich can play right back, I know, but right back number 6, Man City already have Walker, Rodri. So he's not going to play every single day. But at Arsenal, we can tell him, listen, Pat is 30 years plus, Jorginho is 30 years plus. They're not going to be here after next season or something. That is going to be a position. I think it would be better in terms of promising him game time. But in terms of suitable project, I still respect Man City because they can just keep on winning and winning and winning and winning. So but I'm never going to sit here and say Man City though. What is the real news about Calafiori? Because there are too many conflicting news about him. There's not too many conflicting news. let me give you the real news about Calafiori. So Di Marzio, the best Italian journalist in terms of Italian news, he has said Riccardo Calafiori is heading to Arsenal, 50 million euro deal. I've already seen Chelsea outlets saying, forget about it, he's going to Arsenal. They have a better project. He's already chosen them. And in terms of wages, that is it. You're going to give him 3.5 million euros a year, which is 57,000 a week. There's actually reports already from Tuto Mercato saying Bologna have already accepted Arsenal's 50 million euro bid, but I'm not going to talk about that one yet until it's confirmed by the other guys. Squad depth is not the problem with Arteta. The problem is the squad rotation with him. I think there's definitely a couple of times you should have done more rotation last season, but I do feel like most of it is part of not trusting the players. I don't think you would have trusted Nelson to come in for Saka or Cedric to come in for Ben White, or maybe even sometimes actually trusted Kiwi a lot. He trusted Trossard and all those guys a lot. I don't think you'd have trusted El Neni to come in for Declan Rice. Vieira, I don't think you'd have trusted him at that time as well. There's games as well, yes, for sure. Players could have gotten time, like PSV away from home, maybe give Noneri a chance. But that is why you need to keep on improving your team. Last season, we had 13 or 14 players that he trusted. You take that to 18 or 19, the first 11, and then you look at the bench, you have Trossard or Martinelli, and then you have a new winger there, and then you have Partey and Jorginho, let's say, and then you have Kivio, one of them was Zinchenko, whoever, and then you have Timber and Tomiyasu. That is a bench you can trust. And then now we will see rotation. If he had like 19 very good players and he wasn't rotating, then I'd be like, okay, this is not great. Because Man City, in terms of defense, they can afford to take out Diaz and bring in Stones, take out Ake and bring in Gvardiol. Last season, they didn't really have that. Timber and Tomiyasu were out the whole season. If you take out Saliba, there wasn't anyone to bring on. Partey, we already forced into playing Rice and Odegaard every single game. We didn't have Partey and all that. Let's see what happens next season, though. Kevin says, kindly, Glenn, confirm this. The rumor has it that Pep held talks with Kimmich to join City. Yeah, I'm sure he had. And it's clear that they had worked together before. Can hinder us from getting his signature quickly. That's what I agree with. Yes, he's worked with Guardiola before. Going to Man City can always help out. Unless he tells him, listen, you're going to rotate with Rodri or someone. I don't think Kimmich is in his prime right now. I think he has to go somewhere that is definitely going to play. So yes, unless he just ignores every other factor and says, I love Guardiola, I've worked with him before, I'm going to go there, that is absolutely fine. So let's see what happens, though. But yes, obviously, Man City being in the race, it's always, you never know. Mark says, hi, Glenn from South Africa. I guess that must let Vieira go. I heard that Mateta wants Vieira to stay. So if someone is going to go there, it's going to be Smith Rowe probably, and put Zinchenko in that role. Timber can be a good CDM, but I can't see Timber not starting. I would rather bench Ben White for Timber. Again, I feel like Ben White is still too much disrespected, man. Ben White has to start. He does so much for us. I have no problem with rotation, but I feel like it's too easy for people. People are making it too easy. Like, okay, let's just sign a defender. Ben White to bench. No, man. Ben White, even in terms of attacking, Ben White has really improved. Like these days, he's putting up some really good crosses that are saving us against Brentford. I think he got 2 assists against Brentford. One of them very crucial in the last minute for Havertz, and he's doing that a lot these days. Ben White has a very good connection with Saka and Odegaard on that right side as well. Every time between December and January, that time you aren't scoring goals and you aren't playing well. Like Ben White is not playing well, and you could see Saka was not playing well, Odegaard was not playing well. The moment Ben White started playing well, all of a sudden Saka was good as well, Odegaard was good as well. That combination on the right is very, very important, and we are trying to do the same on the left side as well, so that you can be unpredictable. But fair enough, I don't mind Timber and Ben White. Reports last week said that Timber and Tomiyasu were going to be used more on the right side than the left side, so they said they're going to be backups for Saliba and also rotate with Ben White. So no problem, though. Barbara says happy 4th of July. Yeah, to all the Americans, happy Independence Day. Waiting for the deal, Dan says Mwewa. For the Gunners, it's finished. Bullets last 2 years ago, says Negotiate. Arsenal need a striker like seriously and someone superior to Saka. No, they get someone superior. Goodness me. Nah, Saka and Odegaard for me. that question is always very difficult for me to answer. If you sit down and you ask me, is this winger better than Saka? The answer will always be no, because I've seen Saka and Odegaard doing a lot for us the last 4 years. So I'm not just going to replace them. Those are not the positions you're supposed to be looking at. No, we need to be looking at striker, midfield, and those kind of positions. Odegaard, replacing Odegaard is crazy to even think. And Saka as well. Rotation, yes, you can get backups, absolutely no problem. I don't have to see Saka and Odegaard playing 38 games. Yes, I want to see them on the bench sometimes, but in terms of starting, Saka, Odegaard, Ben White are starting for me the first game of the season. Calafiori will be a good player to Arsenal. The back will work well, says Donald. I'm really very happy for the progress in the team, but brother, give me some light on the issues. We'll talk about that when news comes out. Telata, please don't play Calafiori team in the midfield. Remember, Partey in right back, a mistake. Yeah, I don't know what he was trying with that one, by the way. But no, I think they're going to play majority on the left at left back or right back. What are the striker options that Arsenal has at the moment? Which one is mostly likely to be signed? There's only two options that we've been talking about right now, and that is Osimhen and Gyökeres. And to actually answer that question in terms of how many or which striker options, I can tell you right now there's no striker options. I've sat down to try and write 5 striker options, realistic options that we can get. I could not write 5 of them. Watkins is not realistic. Aston Villa are not going to give you Watkins for less than 100 million. Isaac is not realistic. They're not going to give you for less than 100 million. Unless you're going for 30 million, 20 million kind of strikers, it's not realistic. Again, if you want someone like a Solanke, I know many of you don't want Solanke as well. He would even cost you 70 million either way. So I don't think there's too many striker options that are there apart from those two, especially considering Napoli want to sell Osimhen and Gyökeres, Sporting would be ready to sell him. That would help us. Good signing, but let's add more players. We will for sure add more players. But as always, this live stream every day. At this particular time, we're going to be doing it every day, plus the live podcast in the morning as always, and then a couple of other videos throughout the day. So July is expected to be very, very busy. A lot of outgoings and a lot of incoming. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting news every day. Tomorrow we could hear news on Ketia. Tomorrow you could hear, the next day you could hear news on Osimhen. The next day you could hear news on Ramsdale. Like there's so many deals that could be done this month. But to recap what we've talked about, Di Marzio has said that Ricardo Calafiori is heading to Arsenal. Transfer fee will be 50 million euros. And in terms of wages, we've got confirmation for Nico Shiwa saying that Calafiori will be paid 3.5 million euros per year, which is 2.9 million pounds per year. And today morning, Di Marzio reported that Calafiori increasingly closer, and after that he has said it's basically almost done, and there's reports that the deal is almost done. They're just going to finalize it, wait for him to come back from holiday, and then get it done. So there's another video coming out in 1 hour. Make sure to check that one out. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the live show tomorrow.